Hello and welcome to Cultural Hangover, the show where music, arts and culture come meet and get it on. I'm Ben Keenan.
I'm still Jacob Edwards. And to kick off the show, we have an amazing band. Please welcome the one and only Colour.
Closer to your sister Kim. It's a long, long way back home. It's a long, long way back home. Your sister Jim is my hero. She wants a teaspoon of nice caffeine, and now she's lucky a little thin. It's a long, long way back home. It's a long, long way back. Likes to smuggle rocks. Sighted children just wrapped in drugs. It's a long, long way back. It's a long, long way back home. Oh, Mr. T is the enemy. He doesn't listen to you or me. Mr. T hates equality. It's a long, long way back home. It's a long, long way back. I forgive, honey, I forget your name. Replace you with a word that sounds the same. Whoa, oh, my heart is taking up. Whoa, oh, my heart is burning up.
Absolutely loved that, guys. That was absolutely awesome. Colour will be back later. Now, coming up, we have a lightsaber duel to the death. Well, maybe not to the death. More until I have been thoroughly entertained. We also have chili karaoke, which I'm going to call chilioke, always thinking. But first, Ben has been looking at the wide world of street art.
Yes, indeed. Now, mural art, as we know, has been around for years, but how does it compare to other street art like graffiti and projection art? With various murals being commissioned throughout the UK, but graffiti gets scrubbed. We have mural artist Mark McClure in the studio to talk about his art and to discuss what is art and what isn't. Mark, thank you very much for coming in today.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us on the Cultural Hangover TV sofa. Now, I want to talk a bit about yourself first. You are a talented graphic designer, also a mural artist. How did you get into mural art?
I started off small, to be honest. I was designing early on, doing graphic design and a few canvases here and there, and then made a wooden mural around the Olympic Stadium, which in London is about 200 metres long. So I went from canvas to quite large, and started off with wood. Yep, there you go.
You can see that in the screen there. And you've also brought some. You've brought a bit of an installation piece in here. Tell us a little bit about this, Mark.
Yeah, so I do murals and small mosaic pieces, but also more 3D stuff, inspired by architecture, like a lot of my work.
That's pretty
And
impressive.
so yeah, I go from this kind of size to the larger pieces.
Speaking of I'm assuming it's uphoarding.
Yes.
Yes. Now this is now there looks to me from a layman's eye that there's graffiti elements to this. Was this done intentionally? Was it added later? Or was it part of the build up, the process?
I've had that. The wood was, a lot of it was recycled. It was sourced from the local community. So we had stuff found everywhere, people's gardens. And some of that had already had marks made on it. So it was nice including that into the aesthetic.
We've got a couple other pieces up as well. Here's another piece that you've done, and this again is Olympic Park as well. So did this go around the whole kind of?
It was one stretch. It was 200 metres of hoarding that was there to hide after the Olympics when it was being redeveloped.
And you
So,
see a lot of that now, don't you? You see a lot
yeah.
of pieces that hide ugly scaffold and ugly construction pieces.
Exactly,
Do you do a lot of that yourself as well for commercials?
Yes, yeah, sometimes. I've started using paint more because it's quicker and easier. This is another bit of the uphoarding.
Amazing.
I mean, this one took about 10 months to make, so it's quite a lot of investment of time and effort.
And there is a little bit of graffiti on here as well, isn't there?
Yeah,
That you can
again,
see?
this wood was found and sourced from I think it was a film set where they had pieces of writing on it.
Let me ask you yourself, where do you take your kind of inspiration for your pieces? Personally, and again, I'm coming from someone who likes a little bit of art, but I say a bit of cubism, a bit of Kandinsky even in some of these bits.
Yeah.
I wonder if any of those kind of ring true.
Yeah, that's all in there, definitely.
Oh,
Always loved
awesome.
futurism and cubism
Yeah.
and modernism and architecture as well, like I say, a lot of brutalism and that sort of
Yeah, so very clean
graphic,
lines and
geometric. Yeah, definitely.
This is one of my favourite pieces. I love this. And again, this is in a residential area, isn't it?
Yeah, this was a commission for someone's wall in Walthamstow, North London. And that's just paint, so it's obviously a bit
And you
quicker
painted
easier.
this yourself. This is all. And do you stencil the and then, or do you?
No, I use tape, which a lot of people
Okay, right.
frown at, but get the
And
straight
is it
lines.
expensive to do a piece like that?
It's probably a couple of days' work, so
Yeah?
it varies, yeah.
Okay. Moving on, throughout cities like London, we have seen an increase in projection art. So I just want to very briefly touch on that and tell me what projection art is for people at home that don't know about it. It's using a system called Light Cycle to project art onto various canvases and buildings.
Yeah, there are different processes, I think. You've got the mapping, which maps light onto what's already a 3D surface, so you get colours and depths. And I think there's sort of guerrilla projecting as well, which is quite interesting. I think people turn up with a projector on a bike and just shine something. It's like
Amazing.
sort of projection bombing sort of thing.
Okay, so kind of like pop up
Yeah,
in a
exactly,
sense.
yeah.
That's great. So that means it's mobile. It can move all over the city. It can pop up at any place,
Yeah,
anytime.
yeah.
That's fascinating, Mark.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Thank you so much for joining us on the Cultural Hangover TV sofa. Now, if you want to check out Mark's works, please go on to the Cultural Hangover website and click on this episode, or simply go to your nearest wall and start spray painting, and I'm sure it'll come running. Anyway, let's go over to a bit of the segment we call Dutch Courage. Jacob, I hear it's pretty hot today.
Yes, it is, Ben. Over in Denmark, a man who goes by the name of Chili Klaus has been feeding chilies to the people and making them do all manner of crazy stuff since 2006. More recently, he's come to the UK to try this out with Top Gear's The Stig. So we thought we'd take a page out of his book and make some poor, unsuspecting folks feel hot, hot, hot.
A lot of chilies here.
Oh, delicious, delicious chilies. Can't wait for this.
rising up, back on the street. Took my time, took my chances.
Went this distance, now I'm back on my feet.
Just a man and his will to survive.
Which one's the spiciest again? This.
Face to face, out in the heat. They suck the orange still here.
It's fine. The eye of the tiger is the truth of fire.
Rising up to the challenge of our rivals.
That is horrible.
I feel like I've gone to hell and back.
Do you need me anything else? Am I done?
No, that was excellent.
Get out of here.
Well, my mouth was burning just watching that. Coming up after the break, we have some cultural news
Yes, a cinema set in the jungle.
and a playground slide with a difference.
But, Jacob, why don't you sing a side onto the brick? And here is your chili. That's it. Go ahead, eat that. There we are, eat that. And I want you to sing feeling hot, hot, hot. And go.
We're gonna go camping, and if you don't come, then we're just gonna have to leave without you.
I didn't think you were going on holiday this year. That's all sorted now.
We're here!
Does Daddy like porridge? Or does he prefer sausages? Sausages.
It's such a happy day, I'm singing a song. It's such a happy day, come on, sing along. It's undeniable how small can change your mood. I put a great big smile on you.
The new Skunky Insta-Twist is the most fun and easy-to-use hairstyling tool we've ever invented. And to prove it, the monkey from Skunky is going to demonstrate. Unbelievable. A new record. It really is easier to do the twist than ever before.
And we're back. Luckily, my mouth has cooled down after all that chili. Well, kind of. Anyway, Ben seems to be ready to take it away with the news. Ben, over to you.
Thank you, Jacob. ABBA are getting back together for the first time in 35 years as, yeah, right? But as holograms. I know. The Swedish group have signed a multi-million-pound deal with Spice Girls mastermind Simon Fuller for a major ABBA fan experience in 2018. The shows will feature virtual reality versions of the band, with a strong chance all four members could also reunite to perform live as talks continue. As well as virtual and live performances, the production will also address the group's history then and now. Tickets for this huge global production will go on sale next year. Now, the BBC, ITV and Channel 4 have all revealed details of their Christmas programming. Hooray! The BBC will be convening for viewers with a new episode of Doctor Who entitled The Return of Dr. Mysterio for Christmas Day, and a new episode of Sherlock called The Six Thatches for New Year's Day. ITV will be vying for viewers with a special episode of 1950s drama Grantchester, while Channel 4 will be doing their best to make us laugh this Christmas with comedy soap opera The Windsors, which will be exploring what the royals make it up to at Sandringham. Ooh. Plus, there will be a special hour-long episode of Travel Man where Richard Ayoade will endure a tour of Florence with pitch-perfect A-lister Rebel Wilson. In other news, American Apparel, the clothing famed for its ethical production and provocative advertising, has filed for its second bankruptcy in just over a year. The company will continue to trade in the US, however, UK stores will close. The brand's ethical choice to shun sweatshops in favour of American manufacturers was key to its early popularity, but also appeals to have aided its downfall, along with consumers rejecting the high street in favour of online shopping. Filming began yesterday in Blackpool for Joe Brand's first feature film, The More You Ignore Me. The comedy drama, which is based on Brand's critically acclaimed 2009 novel of the same name. Sheridan Smith will take on the lead role of Gina, a young mother whose efforts to be a loving parent and wife are undermined by her decline in mental health. The film also stars Cold Feet's Ella Hunt, as well as Sally Phillips, Sheila Hancock and Ricky Tomlinson. The More You Ignore Me will be set to the songs of the Smiths and be released in 2017. That's all for today's news. Right, back to you, Jacob.
Thanks, Ben. Now, personally, I enjoy going to the movies. A couple of my favourite films are The Godfather and Naughty Nurses 2. But what is the best way to watch a film? Your local cinema, on the sofa with a can of lager, or somewhere more exotic? With so many alternatives popping up, we decided to check one out.
The atmosphere is always so wonderful. The people that come and watch the show are fantastic people. They all come for an experience, and that's what we try to offer, is a wonderful experience.
Ah, this cinema. A trip with friends, a family outing, or a lonely experience that makes you realise you have no friends at all. It's so sad, Timmy. So sad. It's a tradition that goes way, way back, and it's one that's loved by us all. Or so you may think. Last year's summer box office revenue went down a steep 22%. Now that is a lot of money. So, what's to blame? Bad films? Sequel fever? Reboots coming out of the walls? Or is it just that cinema's not as exciting as it used to be?
Well, whatever the reason, don't fret, don't worry, because here at Cultural Hangover, we've found the solution. We've found something a little bit different and a little bit more interesting.
Backyard cinema. Now, what you have in backyard cinema is a different kind of film experience. Their cinemas are themed to match whatever film that they're showing. In the past, they've had themes ranging from Romeo and Juliet to Winter Wonderland to Apocalypse, complete with brain-eating zombies. Sounds fun. And we've got to check out the most recent theme, the jungle. You start out at the markets outside, where you pick up your ticket and your complimentary free drinks token. So far, so good. Then you meet the cave. You're met by a mini jungle that acts as the entrance to the cinema itself, complete with the sounds of parrots, macaws, snakes and the roars of lions, everything that you'd want to hear in a jungle to get you in the mood and tantalise your senses. After swinging out of the jungle, you see the lost world. Well, the lost cinema at least. You can grab a cocktail, find your beanbag and get ready for the movie, safe in the knowledge that you're just one of a chosen few to experience this little bit of heaven. Man, I love Jumanji. Jumanji! Let's see what some of the customers had to say.
Yeah, it was really immersive. You get to crawl through a jungle, which is really good fun. So the whole thing, you're just straight in the atmosphere. Yeah, amazing.
It was far more relaxed as well, I was saying earlier, than sort of going to a normal cinema. It's a better experience to sit there with a big beanbag. And
yeah.
We came as a family, so it was it was a great experience for all of us. The little one really enjoyed it, and the entrance right the way through to the the start of the movie, and thunder, lightning, blah blah blah. It was just a really cool experience.
Yeah, they had like lightning going on and the sound. Yeah, it was really good fun.
You felt a lot more involved in a normal cinema because there were really cool effects, like sound and light effects going on, so you felt a lot more engaged with the film.
Yeah.
The cheers and the fact that you can drink cocktails
and booze. Yeah, I like the tiki glasses. Tiki glasses are always a win for me.
Yeah.
Now I'm joined by Dominic Davis, the man in charge of Backyard Cinema, and Charlotte Bentz, our in-house film reviewer. Guys, good to see you.
Hello.
Thanks so much for coming in.
Thanks for having us.
There has been quite an amazing decline in mainstream cinema ticket sales. We saw a fantastic introduction there to Backyard Cinema. What do you think it is about Backyard Cinema that is still bringing the punters to see a great movie?
Well, we've been through quite a few changes, I think, over the last 4 years since we set up. But regardless of how big the productions are or the sets and anything like that, it was all just about trying to make cinema into a bit more of a night out as opposed to just sitting in a dark room quietly. And I think for us, it's about trying to create more of an experience around your night out, whether that's the decorations or having good booze or good food or having all of your mates there as well. So for us, it's just about trying to turn cinema into more of an experience and a night out than just sitting in the dark and watching the film, really.
There are others as well. There's secret cinema and rooftop cinema as well. Charlotte, do you feel that kind of the mainstream cinemas have become a little bit samey, a bit sterile? Do you think people want a bit of character?
I think people definitely do want a bit of character, and I think that accounts for the rise and popularity of places like Backyard Cinema and Secret Cinema. But I would argue that the studios have hit back. An IMAX film is largely experiential. A film like Tarzan, which didn't even do that well by box office standards, was still, I mean, to see jungle animals coming at you in 3D is an experience.
Yeah. Do you think people almost are demanding those different elements now? They want the cinema to be in a great setting, or they want 3D, or they want the IMAX experience. Do you think a normal run-of-the-mill cinema is a little bit?
That's interesting to hear on the VT as well. There's a lot of customers on there saying that they wouldn't go to a normal cinema. They're not normal cinema goers. And I suppose we're competing against things like Netflix and watching at home and Sky and all that sort of stuff. I think there's definitely a call for it. I think there's a market for both, really. I think we want to create something very different. We're not trying to take anything away from a lot of the mainstream cinemas or like the multiplexes, because people are still going to see those new releases, like the Marvel films and Tarzan, all that sort of stuff. And we specialise in showing a lot of classics. I mean, with the Jungle theme, for example, we had people bringing their kids to watch Hook that they watched when they were kids, and to do that in a jungle then makes the whole night more exciting for them.
And cinemas are more bespoke, aren't they? How are you different from, say, rooftop cinema or secret cinema?
So we've, over the years, we've changed quite a lot. Secret cinema, fantastic inspiration. They do some great stuff. What we try and do is create a whole new world. You can watch a collection of different movies. So we did the jungle and showed action-adventure movies. And so the idea is that it's a price point that people are a bit more accessible. Secret cinema is amazing, but costs the same as going to like the theatre, really.
Yeah.
And you don't have to get dressed up. So it's kind of that sort of middle ground of people that don't want to get dressed up, don't want to spend loads of money, but can still have that experience and get immersed when they're watching their films.
Charlotte, there were so many flops in the kind of big summer mainstream blockbusters. What are the trends that are causing this to happen?
See, I'm going to be quite argumentative on this one and say that, you know, Hollywood, like they sensationalize everything, is sensationalizing the massive downturn in the summer box office. Well, some big things happened, big bad things did happen this summer. What it's taught us is that the summer and Christmas aren't the only times that big releases are going to happen. One of the films that has done the best throughout the year, Zootopia, which is called Zootropolis here in the UK.
We played it in the cinema.
Yeah, it grossed over $1 billion, but it was released in March, so that's uncharacteristic. So I think that just as we're trying to pinpoint Hollywood, they're going to jump ahead and they're going to create something dazzling to keep us entertained. And also to add to the growing concern of how Netflix and Amazon are playing into this, I would argue that where Netflix and Amazon are cutting in is in this kind of middle-class cinema, which is not the big blockbusters who can afford the huge special effects, but it's the kind of film festival hits which are getting bought out by them.
The great thing for us not having to do the new releases is that we can choose all the good ones, so we don't have to play the duff ones.
So you can play the classics.
Because we're not playing all the new releases, we don't have to put all the, so we can wait and see if they're good, and we won't be playing things like.
And you can stand at the back with a smug face on.
A little thing. We chose these.
Yeah, it's a good
we
film.
knew they were good.
Just finally, what do you think the future is in cinema in terms of the mainstream or maybe alternative cinema? Is there anything on the horizon?
Hopefully more backyard cinemas. I don't know, I remember the birth of like the Cineplex, like the Cineworld Stevenage, 13 screens and being amazed at it, and they're all just sort of ghost towns now and empty. I think we were talking a bit before, saying that I think as long as cinema is still creating good films, I feel like it's always going to be very popular. And hopefully there's a big enough part of the market where people are going to want to come and watch them in strange and unusual and creative environments, so we can keep making them.
I think the future is in breaking down barriers even further. So with Oculus Rift, I think it's about not just watching the animals come towards you, but it's actually stepping in the screen. So I'd be excited to see where technology takes us next.
I could try and get some live animals as well, maybe.
Nothing too dangerous, I hope. Guys, thank you so much. I'm looking forward to the future of cinema after that. If you'd like to see a fantastic film, get yourself down to Backyard Cinema. And Charlotte, thank you very much as well. Ben, it's over to you.
Well, looking forward to seeing Backyard's version of Naughty Nurses. Thanks, you two. Quick question, viewers. Do you enjoy going on playground slides, but hate it when the police show up and tell you to get out of the park? Well, I've solved the problem. I brought my own slide.
Ben, what are you doing?
This is an adult slide for an adult man like myself to slide down. Would you like to go on my slide?
No, thank you, because I am an adult man and I'm not getting on a slide like that, and nor should you.
Well, what are you going to do? I want to slide on something.
I think we're going to need a bigger slide.
Wow, that looks fun. Moving swiftly on, it's time for Game of Scones.
Yeah!
Yeah!
It deserves
Part 3. Now, we are joined by our band, Colour Colour. It's time for us to get to know you guys a bit better through our game. So, on the sofa on our left, we have Damon Claridge, Joe Cartwright, and Howard Rose, ladies and gentlemen.
Just quickly to explain the rules, and they're important. On our wheel, we have 3 colours, all corresponding to teacups, soon to be in the band's hand. Pick up those teacups, boys.
Wow.
Oh, good lifting. That's the best lifting so far.
Did you paint these?
I did, by hand. When the arrow lands on the band member's teacup colour, they must answer a music-related question. If they answer correctly, they are off the hook, and we spin again. But if their answer is wrong, then the forfeit is to eat one of these scones in front of them. Today we have the fillings: sardine and mustard, cottage cheese, pickles, onions and wasabi, that's the worst one, and chocolate and Marmite.
My favourite. Guys, y'all understand that? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, let the game of scones commence. Spinning the wheel.
Spin that wheel, Ben.
And that is red. That is red for
Red.
Howard.
So it's Howard. Howard, True or false? Oh, this is such a tough question. True or false? 50 Cent stated in an interview with MTV that he had been shot 8 times. True or false?
I think that's true.
Final
True.
answer.
Well, I'm glad you said that.
Me too.
Because I would like to see you eat your scone. It's false. It's 9 times.
He got blapped 9 times. I think that's the terminology. Blapped.
Oh, blapped.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Go ahead, pick one.
Do the one on the end there, please. The chocolate and the Marmite. Yeah.
That's
Give
a
me
lot
ooh
of
for the
Marmite.
audience. Ooh.
And I hate Marmite.
Go for it. It is kind of a love-hate thing.
Oh, he's really gone for it.
Ooh, that's a good bite.
That's a delicious scone.
That is a delicious scone. What a good sport.
We're getting renamed again.
One bite now. Put it down, sir. Unbelievable.
Welcome to the part of the show we call
Liberty.
Delicious Scones. OK, let's spin the wheel again.
Spinning again, Jacob.
No.
Would you Adam and Eve it, or I'm going to say that's blue. Okay, so
Damon.
blue, we have Damon. Damon, let's have a look here. Okay. Damon, finish the lyric. Is this the real life? Or is this just...
Come on, Dodo.
I don't know that.
What do you mean? It's Queen.
You can't, no, no helping out.
Oh, just fantasy.
Oh,
yes.
I don't know. What do you think, guys? Do we give him that one?
Yeah.
No, interference. Interference. Eat the scone. That was interference on the plate. It's the sardines for you, sir, Damon. It's the sardines. Big, nice bite for the camera. Ooh, yeah. That's good. That's chunky. How's that? Yeah? I'm actually quite jealous. It looks good. I'm a sardine fan, I have to say.
Well,
what a good sport. What a good sport. So let's spin that again.
Spin that wheel, Ben.
It's blue again. What are the chances? Well, 1 in 3, really.
Ben stopped it on blue. I mean, it stopped on blue. OK. Here's a question, Howard, and this could be slightly embarrassing.
It's me. It's going to me.
It's me.
Oh, Damon, so sorry. I am colourblind. What was the name of Joe's first band? Yeah.
Yeah,
Think
push
on.
it for an answer.
This could literally cause
You said
a
it earlier as
fissure
well, and I can't remember.
in the band. He says it all the time. He bangs on about it. I'm gonna need an answer.
I'm just going to go and take one because I don't know.
Dear.
Jump in, Joe.
I'm gonna go
What's
for
the
this
name?
Come on, Damon.
It was Jankster's Kennel.
Jankster's Kennel.
Yeah, it's
That's
pretty...
amazing. What do you got there? Cottage cheese. How does that mix with the sardines?
Again, it's all right. Oh, it's quite nice.
Okay, it's time for the final spin.
And it's the
of
big
day.
spin. Oh, and it's green.
What?
Oh, what a spin.
Got to get that
This guy.
wheel fixed.
That is an awful wheel. Okay, so it is green, and we are to... where are we going here? Yes, we are going with Joe. Okay. Joe, true or false? Snoop Dogg, or Snoop D, or Double G Dizzle Manizzle has taken marijuana at least once in his life. True or false?
I'm going to say it's false.
Oh, well, it's actually true. He's taken it 20 more times than that. I'm afraid you're going to have to eat the last scone, which is the pickle, wasabi, and I think it's
Onions. He's off with the glasses.
Going
Oh,
serious.
watch
That's
out,
a
people.
serious contender.
We're getting some face coverage here.
Oh, what a hero. I have to say, guys, you have been the most committed on the sofa so far to the Scone Challenge.
Or just the most hungry. One of them.
We don't feed them here in the studio. It's a sad state of affairs. Guys, thank you so very much for playing the game.
Real sports.
You guys are real good sports. Now, Colour will be back at the end of the show with one more song. Coming up after the break, we have street performers from Covent Garden. Ooh, and the one and only Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I don't think it's the actual Obi-Wan.
That's a real shame. Okay, well, we've still got some pretty cool lightsaber fights. We'll see you guys right after the break.
I just saw your status update. Which mountain you're conquering now, you nutter?
3rd summit this week.
Wow, it looks incredible.
Oh, it is. I mean, it's tough going, but this makes it all worthwhile.
Is it snowing over there? Who are you talking to?
This is Mr. Marshall. He just saved money on his car insurance at Money Supermarket, and now he feels epic.
So you're so Money Supermarket.
Welcome back to Cultural Hangover, the show where arts and culture meet, get drunk, and do things they will definitely regret in the morning. Now, as promised, we have lightsabers! Yes, indeed! Introducing Jamie McGee and Jordan Corp from a group called Ludo Sport Lightsaber Combat Academy. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you very much.
Incredibly excited. First, I'd like to know more about Ludo Sport. How did it first start?
Well, Ludo Sport began in 2006 in Italy, where a group of friends, decided that it would be interesting to work out a sport based around how a lightsaber would work, because it's not like a normal weapon that has a sharp side and a dull side. The whole blade would be a cutting edge. Therefore, the techniques are slightly different. And also, the blade cuts through everything, so we don't use strong strikes. It's more about accuracy, speed, and finesse.
Literally any touch will just cut through anything.
It would do if it was real. It's not real. Otherwise, we'd have dropped these through the floor by now. The idea is to try and recreate something that would feel as realistic as fighting in the films.
And I believe there's no guard either on the swords.
No, because a sabre would cut through almost any material, therefore the guard would be effectively useless because your opponent's blade would slice straight through it.
Absolutely incredible. So how does the combat actually work, Jamie? I saw you in rehearsal, it looks pretty intense.
Yeah, it sort of boils down to a series of what we call Oz and E's, sort of fatal strikes, sort of that's it, game over, or superficial strikes, sort of like superficial to be hands, anything below the elbow and below the knee, anything above the knee and above the elbow are sort of Oz fatal strikes.
But just to confirm, neither of you are going to die in the studio today?
Well, we're insured, so if we do, it's not on the
Okay, oh, so there might be a death. Great. Are there actually competitions, and are they categorised as a sport or a sporting competition or a martial art? Or
So the difference between what we do and martial arts is that martial arts have a practical application for self-defence. We don't pretend that this is an effective tool for defending ourselves, which is why we class it as a sport.
Yeah.
There are competitions. 2 weeks ago we had the second UK National Championships, which was held in Birmingham. We had 31 competitors and we found the 3 strongest duelists in the country. And at the end of the month, we're going out for the Ludo Sport Games, which is the international gathering. So there will be representatives from Italy, France, Spain, Sweden, and the United Kingdom.
So it's truly international?
It is. There are classes that opened in July in San Francisco, so it's spreading across America. Boston opened very recently, and it's in 8 European nations as well, so it's growing very quickly.
I think everyone in the studio is already slightly addicted, so there will be certainly some more after today. Okay, it's time to get down to why we're all here. A fight to the death with lightsabers. I'm thinking one of us is at least going to lose one limb, but I'm just hoping that it's not me. Okay, gentlemen, take it away. Lee and John from Ludo Sports. I want a lightsaber. I'm very happy to say, gents, that my appetite for outright violence has been well and truly sated. Thank you both so much for coming down. And if anyone at home is interested in becoming a Jedi, follow the link on our webpage. But now, let's move on from sports to performers.
Yes, indeedy. I am joined by Lee and Andy from Street Performers Association, the group that organises the Covent Garden Street Entertainment. Gentlemen, thanks for joining us in Cultural Hangover.
Pleasure.
Lee and Andy. Or Lee Andy. I won't, that's very sorry. So guys, please, for the audience at home, give us a little bit of a explanation of your acts. What do you do on the street?
I do, my show's called Carry On Street Performing, so I do 38 minutes of cheeky double entendre, and at the end of it I end up chained up, locked inside a mailbag, and I do my best to escape.
And yourself?
Well, I juggle machetes on top of a 7-foot unicycle.
Wow, that is amazing. Now, how does somebody decide when they're growing up, do you know what, I'm going to get out in the street and do some street performance? Where does that come from? What is the urge that take on?
Well, I started, I had a job in an office which I hated.
Oh, and there we are. We can
see.
There
we go. That's me. Yes.
There's Andy doing his things with the machetes. Very dangerous. Do not try this at home, people, unless you are obviously a street performer. Then go for it.
That's more like it.
And there's Lee.
A good-looking fella.
Oh, and he's doing a cheeky French mime.
Cheeky indeed.
And what's going on here?
Well,
no,
you don't want to know what's going on there.
Oh, that's fantastic, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that.
Good old Kenneth.
That's awesome. So if someone wanted to join the Street Performers Association, would I just rock up into Covent Garden and start doing a thing like busting some rhymes, maybe juggling some balls, or do I have to kind of like...
We do have an audition process.
You do have an audition process.
Do a few minutes.
We'll talk about that after the show. What kind of acts do you guys have on at the minute?
We've got quite a big variety, I have to say. I mean, from people like me who mostly talk quite a bit and finish up with just a modicum of skill at the end to justify to guys like Andy. And right the way in between, we have rope walkers, we've got...
And this thing here, which is a bit of following there. That was one of our charity
I love
shows.
when they follow me. It freaks me out.
Yeah, it's normally only the one of us, but...
let me ask you, Lee, what is the audition process? Is it a grueling process? Is it a tiered?
We try to make it as pain-free as possible. We keep it informal. Each person gets 3 minutes, really just to show us they have a little bit of self-confidence on stage and potential. That's all we're looking for. You don't have to come down with a finished act.
Now, you know, so with escapology, the accident it could be limited, but with yourself, I mean, how many close brushes have you had with a machete? Any beard trims? Any nail filing going on?
Something like that. Got quite a few scars, and of course, you can fall off that unicycle.
Exactly. It's not just catching knives. You're also balancing on a unicycle at least 3 foot in the air. So that's got to be terrifying. Well, guys, my last question is: do you think that I have what it takes to be a street performer?
Oh,
sipper. And
come down and give it a go.
Yeah.
So you don't do it for free because the whole concept of street performing is that you go out there and obviously you rely on the generosity of the general public of Covent Garden. And I have been there sometimes and I've sat for a few minutes and I'll chuck a pound in. I can see certain periods are rather busier, Christmas, etc. Yeah. So this is coming up into the bread and butter, the big period time for you.
Yeah, I mean, the summer's our big peak period just because it's nice weather to be out watching a show. But as we come back into Christmas, we get a bit of a lift again, which is just as well because it falls off a cliff in the new year.
Oh, OK. Well, gentlemen, thank you very much for your time. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, Lee and Andy, thank you very much, guys. And best of luck with your future escape attempts. Hope you don't get stuck. Like I did that one time at Thorpe Park. I was upside down for hours. It was embarrassing.
Well, that's all we have time for. Thank you for watching, and thanks for all of the incredible guests for coming down. Coming up tomorrow, we have Nail Art by Meta Francis.
And we'll become entranced in the world of mind reading with Richard Young.
And also, we'll have fantastic scrap metal artist Jason Heppenstall in the studio.
And indulge in an eclectic sound with the band Sahara. So, we'll see you tomorrow.
To play us out of today's show, here is Colour again with Do Something Beautiful. Woo!
yeah, I'm